variance continues to be one of the prevailing storylines in the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander and Dort in the backcourt. And in game 3 with Brown in the backcourt, Michael Porter Jr. Last time out, they ran a little action for Murray. This time, it's a post-up for Jokic. They're sitting on his right hand. Here's Murray from outside. And that one caroms off the front rim.
Well, that's what Denver wants to do. They gave a little cross screen, low cross to get Nikola Jokic isolated down in the low post, but you have to keep the floor space.
Boy, somebody hit the snooze bar on that open three defensively by Williams. He couldn't convert. Here's Porter Jr. wide open at the other end. And he shoots an air ball.
1 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 6 from 3. Maybe he needs a hand in his face to make a shot.
Holmgren from deep. That one rims out, tipped to Gilgeous-Alexander. And another opportunity, gonna try and walk down Brown. No whistle. And here comes Jokic. Jokic just 8 for 25 in game 3. Gordon got peeled and ripped clean by Williams, playing with a little bit of pace here.
But great hands by Jalen Williams to knock that away.
Gilgeous-Alexander on Porter Jr. Great pocket pass into the dunker spot. And the first field goal of the game goes to Chet Holmgren.
That we've talked about, but he's also an excellent passer, playmaker out of a short roll.
At the other end, guarding Jokic. Murray on the DHO action. Baseline pass to Gordon. Gordon shooting a career high from 3. That one's short. Loose ball. Murray guarded by Dort. A couple of Canadian national team teammates, and that one rattles out. Fans here at Ball Arena historically stand until the team makes its first field goal. Holmgren trying to keep them standing for a while with the miss.
Because he's such an alert passer to Chet Holmgren, who, as you pointed out, was right in that baseline dunker spot.
But great defense by Jalen Williams, a.k.a. J-Dub. The other Jalen Williams is J. Will.
I thought Oklahoma City's defense in game 3 was excellent. It's just that Denver made...
Brown hounding Gilgeous-Alexander. There's the lob, and that's going to be a foul first on Jokic. A good screen. Lou Dort pulls the 3, and both teams with some early cold shooting. Now 1 of 7 for OKC. I think that 1 of 6. Williams switched on to Jokic. Porter Jr. on the drive. Blocked at the rim, but fouled on the drive. And tough to play basketball that way?
I think it would be. But for him, I mean, he knocked down shots early, but he was diving on the floor, and he grabbed 8 rebounds, a couple of them two-handed rebounds. He was very, very good.
Master of the mid-range, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
The quicker Oklahoma City can get the ball up the court, the more opportunities SGA is going to have to attack the defense.
Here's Gordon on the edge. Jokic out top. Off the brush screen by Gordon. Got to the rim and blocked by Hartenstein.
Boy, what a recovery.
This is a top 5 defense during the regular season. Dort couldn't cash out at the other end. Rebounded by Jokic.
Well, Lou Dort did a good job defensively in game 3, but wasn't able to knock anything down.
Great slip screen by Brown, and he slams it home. Christian Brown had a good rebound bounce back game in game 3 with 8 points.
That's why you want to have Nikola Jokic with the ball in the middle of the floor. He can see over the defense and deliver the ball.
Off the Hartenstein miss, Gordon tied up, and we're going to have a jump ball, it looks like. Jalen Williams and the Thunder control. Gilgeous-Alexander 1 for 2 so far. Here just getting underway. Off the screen, got to the mid-range and cashes out again.
Well, you can tell Oklahoma City in man, they're going to make him guard and have to switch out on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Brown had it knocked away. Good steal. It was Jalen Williams again. And Brown took it right back until Hartenstein got it back. Holmgren was wide open. They didn't see him. Dort with the sidestep 3. That's way off. Loose ball controlled by Holmgren. Williams open. And Jokic with the rebound. Bodies flying all over. Jokic leading the break. And he throws it away. Hartenstein
continue throughout the course of these 48 minutes in regulation.
Caruso and Wiggins coming into the ball game for the Thunder. Williams on Murray now. Picked up his dribble with 5 on the shot clock. Nowhere to go. Had it knocked away. Good contest. Got a whistle and a foul. Jamal Murray was so key for the Nuggets in that Game 3 overtime. Adelman.
Well, he had a spectacular defensive game. Had 4 steals. Really stood his ground. He was physical. Little zone look right now for Denver.
Here's Caruso. Back out top to Williams. Dort drives it on Gordon. Good help by Jokic. 8 on the shot clock. Wiggins with the float game. Left it on the front rim. And with a chance to tie, here's Murray. Got a screen from Brown. Murray sprays it out to Porter Jr. Wiggins looking for a foul on the push-off on Brown. Won't get it. Brown open for 3. Gordon with the offensive rebound. Porter Jr. Boy, they had 4 for $1 on that trip.
Yeah, they've had open looks. A terrific contest on that first corner 3 by Michael Porter Jr. by Alex Caruso.
And Williams just gave it back. Both teams pretty sloppy to start this game, Jay.
You know, in the 4th quarter of Game 3, I thought Oklahoma City had way too many dribbles. Their dribble per pass ratio.
Zone defense.
The 2-3 look with Jokic in the middle.
And now both teams are combined 0 for 14 from deep.
Maybe some remnants of Game 3 being in overtime. A little bit of a tired start shooting.
Murray drives it. Wow, and an enterprising layup. The creativity of Murray on display again.
Well, creativity is right. He's a very creative finisher, especially with the left hand around the basket.
Wow, Dort laces that 3 to make it a 10-7 game. Dort on the board.
That's one of the best things he can do against his zone. Beat it down the floor and get something early.
Off the stagger, Murray into the corner. Westbrook. He's been proficient shooting the 3 from the corner this year. Here's Caruso on the move. They got a 2-on-1 facing Gordon, and Caruso lays it in. Man, he's been so valuable off the bench this season for the Thunder. The oldest player on the roster at 31. Westbrook missed the layup, got it back. Guarded by Wiggins with 10 on the clock. Missed again. Porter Jr. battling. And once again, Williams a little bit faster to the ball.
Well, Oklahoma City does such a great job on the offensive glass of tipping the ball to keep it alive so they can get it or a teammate can get it.
Kind of just like what Gordon did right there. 12-7 with just under 4 minutes to go. That's going to be a foul on Luke. Westbrook behind the Jokic screen. Shot an air ball.
Minutes to go.
Make you feel like you're back in the ACC? Sorry, Jay. Gilgeous-Alexander on the wing against Murray. A couple of teammates have played in Paris this year at the Olympics for Canada. And Wiggins walked with it.
Yeah, that should have been an additional. But anytime SGA has 2 guys on him, there's going to be somebody open. They passed out of it effectively, but just didn't make that extra pass they perhaps needed there.
They got 3 bodies on Jokic. He got off of it. Battling Caruso for position. Wallace all over Murray inside. Jokic in a crowd. Misfires again.
Oh, what a challenge by SGA under the bucket.
And that jumper short. Westbrook with the rebound. And the frigid shooting continues. Denver, meanwhile, had missed its last 6 in a row. Into the corner, Watson. All right, somebody's got to close the door because we've seen a couple of air balls at that end of the floor by Denver now. 12-5. Wallace inside Holmgren. Tough fadeaway, and he barely draws iron. Wallace with the hustle and the stick back.
Right now, and it's probably the closest thing you'll see to a back-to-back in the playoffs. Late game OT, and then come out and play early game. just basically a day, not even a day and a half later. So there's a little bit of being winded out there, but you know, neither team's going to look at that as any reason not to go get this game. So we got to go get it.
They've showed Shea about 4 or 5 different looks already in the first quarter. How do you guys help him there?
Just moving around, being available for him, knowing that you know, if they show bodies to him, somebody's got to be open. So we got to be available.
Chet, good luck. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Joe fouled on the reverse layup attempt. Yeah, your body adjusts to it.
Start on the offensive end. I mean, 2 of 23 from the field, 0 of 14 from 3. But one thing they cannot allow is for that poor offensive performance in the first quarter to affect their defense.
With Jokic on the bench, that's going to be a foul against Pace.
Well-connected defensive team.
Westbrook drives it on Hartenstein, and they took it away from him. Caruso on the drive, raises up, and he's fouled.
14 of their 23 field goal attempts have been from 3. And Oklahoma City has been doing a pretty good job.
A couple of days ago, they teasing him, calling him Unk Brent. They lead by 13. Here's Murray. And they turned him over.
With great hands by Cason Wallace. What a pest.
Hartenstein catching a body.
There's no way Denver's going to be able to guard a run out. But give credit to Cason Wallace, the great ball pressure he puts on and his active hands.
Important to note what Denver gets accomplished in these non-Jokic minutes. They haven't scored in the last 6:46. Murray back out to Brown for 3. Missed his last one. That one comes off too. And they're off and running. They have numbers if they choose. Gilgeous-Alexander on the cross. Joe from the corner. Wallace with the offensive rebound. Gilgeous-Alexander wide open. He can't cash. A missed opportunity that time by the Thunder.
Those are the shots that usually go down after an offensive rebound. Yeah. Baskets, but you have to work really hard to get an easy basket, and Oklahoma City does that.
Brown at the free throw line. Brown knocks down 2. And Russell Westbrook with a little token full court pressure. Dropping back now defensively. And they turn it over. Brown with great anticipation. Whoa. Upended and fouled by Gilgeous. His mother played collegiate basketball.
Talked about not only holding it down at the house, but his first basketball coach, no one harder than him in regards to his game than Mom. He even told Bill Self, his coach at Kansas, hey, you can be as hard on me as you want. Nobody's going to be harder than me than Mom was, Jonesy.
You bet.
I wonder if there was any mom disappointment in a Missouri mom having a kid go to Kansas.
Oh, that was a big one. Yeah, and a follow by Hartenstein on the offensive glass. The lead back up to 13. Caruso switches on to Murray.
And switches up to take something away. That's not a passive switch.
Boy, that can really wear you down over time. Gordon with the mid, he got it. He's an improved shooter this year. Job with his 3-ball in particular. Gilgeous-Alexander missed from his spot. That's going to be a foul against Hartenstein.
Goal shots.
Okay.
From Oklahoma City, especially in the fourth quarter.
Murray got to the rim and draws the...
On this Denver defense to making sure they put 2 on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Make him make a tough shot or make him give it up. And one of the few players that lifts his game in the playoffs. He averaged, what, 18 in the regular season, 23 in the playoffs.
That one comes off to Porter Jr. OKC now 1 for 14 from deep. Dribble handoff to Murray from Jokic. And that one front rim. So the icy shooting continues. Denver, folks, get this, is 3 for 26. Gilgeous-Alexander checks into the office and cashes out. That's his spot.
Push off a little bit, but that creates that space. And he's such a good mid-range shooter.
Hey, don't use language like that. Push off. Inside, that's going to be a foul. There you go. See, that's why I feel secure in sitting next to you. That Duke team's optional shoot around yesterday. As Brown knocks down the second free throw, the lead is down to 10. 8 minutes to go in this opening half in this pivotal game 4. As soon as we'll shift back to Oklahoma City in a couple of days. Williams finds a seam. Isaiah Joe. That rims out. Loose ball. Wallace pursues it. tried to lob it up for Holmgren, who wasn't expecting it.
Right
Off the turnover, Brown.
OKC's getting really good shots, just not making them. Joe was wide open.
Williams being backed down by Jokic. Brown outside. Jokic still ice cold from deep. Was 0 for 10 in the previous game, 0 for 2 to start here tonight.
And I don't think David Adelman wants to see him stop shooting. He knows he's a good three-point shooter.
Williams. Wallace on the drive. One more to Holmgren. One more. Jalen Williams. Jokic in space. Holmgren with 2 on the shot clock. And that's going to be it. Jokic out top. There's the very familiar DHO action with Murray. And he gives it away.
So give credit to Cason Wallace for breaking that up.
There's Wallace at the other end. Holmgren, the trailer, will pull it back out. Now drive it on Jokic. Nice cut by Joe. Probing against Porter Jr. Holmgren, butter. Does it feel like it's been a while since somebody scored?
Yes, because it has.
29-17. Past 6.5 to go in the first half. And Wallace trying to stick to Murray. Jokic, the roller, got that one to rattle home. That's his first field goal of the game.
Wallace got over the first, couldn't get over the second.
Marjorie Jones, my mom, watching in Toronto, Canada, one of the NBA's biggest fans north of the border. 97 years old, got this game on right now, and another missed shot.
Denver sticking with that zone out of the timeout. Jokic in the middle, so a little harder to attack him.
Jokic on the wing, isolated. It draws the foul on Jalen Williams. Joker, the previous game, although mitigating circumstances,
In game 3, Isaiah Hartenstein took most of the minutes guarding Nikola Jokic and could play him physically, try to stay in front. And then you had, at times, Chet Holmgren with his length behind him to bother him around the basket. But really, it was a three-point shooting by Jokic, which was the issue. He's 0 for 10 in that game.
Joe blocked by Brown. Mama loved that defense from her son. Williams with 2 on the clock. Williams, that's going to be an offensive foul. Jokic knocks down the first free throw. Christian told me 9 points as Jokic knocks down the second free throw. Denver countering on a 15-6 run right now. The lead is down to 6. The Thunder have stalled out a little bit offensively. That's going to be a foul. The
overloaded, but you definitely have to move the ball and get some player movement, not just stand around.
They tried to screen Brown that time. Off the kick out, Williams with the midi, cash. So Jalen Williams, despite that flurry of fouls, knocks down a jumper at the other end. The lead back up to 8. Jokic trying to walk Williams down, kicks it out to Gordon. They repost it. Jokic off the mark again, a loose ball, corralled by Gordon against Holmgren. Brown had a notion. 7 on the shot clock. Gordon slips the screen. Jokic out to the wing. Westbrook got it. That's their first 3 ball in 17 attempts. The Thunder a little bit stagnant here offensively. Wow, what a drive by Williams.
And
Got to the rim.
All it took was a ball reversal. Get the defense to move and then attack it.
OKC shooting 34% from the field. Westbrook being guarded by Wallace. Jokic. Gilgeous-Alexander showing help. Gordon on the cut. Tried to get it to Westbrook. He bounced it out so far. Jokic shoots an air ball.
SGA has to get more involved and be more aggressive on the offensive end.
SGA missed on a short jumper. Brown on the move. Steps through. Got it. Close and then lean into our championship experience late in the game. That could and should be enough. And off the turnover, here's Joker. At 11 points in that first half. Finally saw the lid come off from deep. knocking down that three ball. Murray off the Porter screen. 7 on the shot clock. Jokic with the miss.
And even though Hartenstein got pushed off there a little bit, he just did a really nice job of staying in front. The entire team has shown him a lot of bodies and made it difficult. That's why
Saunders about adjustments, but before that, he handed me the box score and jokingly told me, send this one to Springfield, referring to the Basketball Hall of Fame. But then he told me, being down only 6, as Jay mentioned, that they were proud at how they played defensively in that half. They'd like to do a better job rebounding, as you see the dunk there by Michael Porter Jr., but said they'd like to do a better job rebounding to keep them from multiple shots. On offense, he says they liked the looks they got. They could do a better job screening. Has another dunk on the other end by Holmgren. They do a better job screening.
Holmgren from the dunker spot.
Well, the one thing that Denver's been doing is they've been hanging in there, and their offense hasn't affected their defense.
Jokic with the 3. He's hit 2 of them now in this game. Jalen Williams on the bounce. Has it come off to Porter Jr.
Boy, that's a tough one. Oklahoma City didn't even really make a pass there. There's an individual ISO, which they did a lot in the fourth quarter in game 3.
Murray got to the rim and drew the foul.
And he knows he can make those.
Well, Tuesday night and on the app. That series, of course, tied it again.
Where would Denver be in this game without the foul line?
After that free throw, 19 of 22.
Over half their points are coming from the foul line.
Gilgeous-Alexander crowded, double teamed. The pass, Holmgren with the finish.
To the playmaking ability in the middle of the floor of Isaiah Hartenstein. He can shoot that little push shot, or he can lob it up to Chet Holmgren.
Gordon off the elbow. Jokic with the show and go on Hartenstein.
A good recovery by Dort on that pass out.
Jokic wheels baseline, couldn't finish. Good defense by Hartenstein again. There's Jalen Williams on the move, fouled. Jalen Williams at the free throw. And Williams knocks down both. Just underway here in the third quarter. Mark Jones, Jay Billis, George Sedano. Game 4 of this conference semifinals, with OKC trying to level up at 2 games apiece. Look at Lou Dort. Chase Murray around that screen. Here's Gordon on the DHO. Good switch. Brown with 6 on the shot clock. A pull. Got it!
Christian got 14. Combined with his defense, he's had an excellent game.
Gilgeous-Alexander with a miss. Loose ball to Brown. Play elbow. Jokic with the screen for Murray. Flips it. Jamal for 3. Yes. Time to bring the noise here at Ball Arena. Hartenstein back out to Williams. Kept it in the front court. Williams weaving through traffic. And Gordon clears, and a chance for Denver to take the lead. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Aaron Gordon.
That moves so effectively.
He and Jokic have wonderful chemistry. Gilgeous-Alexander against Brown. Denver showing a lot of bit of help. 7 on the shot clock, goes tween. Sprays it out to Dort. Wide open 3, butter. And okay about their friendship. He said, Mark, I love Jamal, but they call it show business, not show friends. It's all about business during the series. Jokic trying to turn the corner. And that's a big body bends move right there by the 3-time MVP to make it a 2-point contest.
What a combination of power and skill.
Dort misfires on this one. Denver can tie. Off the drag screen, Murray. Pocket pass, Jokic, one more. Brown for the lead. And Holmgren racing back the other way against Jokic. Had it knocked away. What a steal by the Joker. Brown, one more. Murray probes it. Gordon lines up the seams. Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's see what the Thunder run coming out of the timeout. Caruso with some guard screening action. Williams touches paint. Had it partially blocked, it looked like, or left it short.
But Brown has done a really good job of contesting shots. Almost those rear view mirror contests. And he's done it multiple times in this game.
Murray trying to shake Dort. Around the Jokic screen. Nice hezzy. Dort sticks with him and got part of the ball on the block. Murray retrieves it. Double teamed and peeled clean. Gilgeous-Alexander. Back out to Dort. One more to Williams. Wide open from deep. And that was way short. Hartenstein with the board, though. Had Williams cutting, but he didn't give it to him. The lob broken up by Murray. And here's Jokic. Murray walks into the three and passes. Jokic fouled from behind by Hartenstein.
Is what Denver's defense has been. They've really packed the paint, made it difficult for Oklahoma City.
He told me a couple of days ago he's playing at a lighter weight during these playoffs. Possession off the turnover. OKC has given it away 11 times. Jokic off the elbow. Cross court, Porter Jr. And rebounded by Williams.
And Michael Porter Jr. has struggled shooting it in this one. He was so sharp and got off to such a great start in game 3. Game 4 has been much different.
Skip pass into the corner, Dort for 3. And it comes off to Porter Jr. They are now 4 of 26 from deep. Murray for 3. That one falls.
And he said, guys, we got a guard. We can turn them over and get back in this. Then Mark Daigneault came and he said, guys, it's only a 6-point game. No matter how we got here, as they cut it to 3 there on a 3, he said, no matter how we got here, it's just a 6-point game. We got to trust our stuff, Jonesy.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear George and Jay, Coach Daigneault say, I had to remind the guys who they were during our off day. Murray from the elbow, halfway down and out. Gilgeous-Alexander will bring it up. A quiet second half for him so far was 16. They run 2 at him. He gets off of it. Here's Wallace. And picked off. Brown jumping the passing lane with the steal. And he has been ubiquitous tonight all over the court for Denver.
I know it sounds elementary, but Cason Wallace needed to come to a 2-footed jump stop there. Play off 2 feet on that. Threw the ball away. No reason for it.
And there he commits a foul, Jay, on the other end. Deals. Jokic, as Wiggins switch on to him. Westbrook for 3. And it comes off to the Thunder. Wallace controls.
Grab it, kept it alive so that OKC could grab that defensive board.
Caruso for 3. That's off. Wiggins hustling, kept it in play almost.
What's gone into that particular part of the game?
Just trying to drive the ball hard. They're a physical team. They're a really good defense. Just trying to drive the ball hard and take care of the ball, get to the rim.
Christian, good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, George. Denver outscoring OKC by 12 in that third quarter. Westbrook around the screen, back out to Aaron Gordon. Got his feet set. And that's going to be a foul.
Hit them in the third quarter, but I don't think they established it on offense. I think they established their rhythm on defense. They have hung in there this whole game.
Watson with the jump hook. And to further your point, Jay, they've really improved defensively in the postseason. When you look at the fact that during the regular season, the Nuggets were 20th in defensive rating. They gave up the lob and won from the strike. Did a couple of crucial misses in that overtime period 36 hours ago from that short corner spot.
Yeah, that little push shot from the short corner.
Said that playing in Europe taught him to get it off quickly and with a lot of arc because of the crowd that they play in the paint.
Yeah, when you're a teammate of your father as a pro, do you call him dad in practice?
Hey, I know. Hey, Aaron Gordon with the turnaround.
How good has Aaron Gordon been in the playoffs? Not just this series, but he was great against the Clippers.
Had that game winner and a big shot response by Wallace.
A little bit better ball movement there from Oklahoma City, getting it from one side of the floor to the other. And that's something that was missing in the fourth quarter of game 3.
Jokic beginning this fourth quarter on the bench. The Nuggets have been able to hold the fort. Murray off the miss, loose ball. They'll have another opportunity. The hustle of Watson.
A great job by Gordon to keep that thing alive.
Wallace on Murray, cross court. Jordan drives the closeout. Got his miss back, and another opportunity or not. Fires, it'll count. Got it off just in time before the expiration of the shot clock. Williams. Wallace, one more. Wiggins wide open. Cash. And a timeout, followed by a 10 o'clock run. Game 4 between Minnesota and Golden State. Out of the timeout, Jokic back in the ball game. They stunt at him, show him 2 bodies, and that time they get the stop and the miss, but Gordon on the offensive glass. Porter Jr. back to Brown. Shot clock at 7 for Jokic. Brown pulls the 3, and this time Wallace secures the board, and a chance for the Thunder to take the lead as Gilgeous-Alexander is summoned off the bench, ready to check in for OKC.
Well, that was a nice looking play by Denver out of the timeout to isolate Jokic in the low post.
Loose ball comes out to Westbrook. What a bounce pass, but Porter couldn't make the catch. Fumbled it and stepped out of bounds. Really found his rhythm for the Nuggets. They double team Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Wallace. Throws it up off glass. Hartenstein had it knocked away out of bounds. Back out to Hartenstein. Gilgeous-Alexander around the screen. Back out to Caruso. One more to a wide open Wallace. That is pristine execution, Jay.
Yeah, Green pop out and then make the extra pass. And Cason Wallace has knocked down some open shots in this game, which he didn't do in game 3.
9-0 run for OKC. Jokic, Westbrook for 3. Loose ball. And Wiggins gets the 50-50 ball.
That almost looked like a pack line defense, the way they were crowded in the paint.
Gilgeous-Alexander around the Hartenstein screen. The 3. The 3 ball has abandoned him. 0 for 3 from deep. Murray got hung up in the air, found the right guy. Brown relocates and gets it back against Caruso. Around the Jokic screen, Brown for 3. Loose ball, and another 50-50 comes out to the Thunder.
And another time Alex Caruso knocks it away from Jokic so that a teammate can grab it. He's just always around the ball.
Gilgeous-Alexander got to his spot and draws the foul for
Jokic from getting it to get that easy stick back.
Yeah, smarty, but he says.
I'm sure some of his young teammates thought he played in Seattle for the Sonics first.
Off the Gilgeous-Alexander miss. Here's Gordon. Denver has the luxury of having Gordon handle a lot. Sets the screen for Jokic. Cross-court Murray. Couple of jabs. Wallace stays right there. Good help in rotation by the Thunder. And they get the miss and the loose ball rebound.
And who was right there on the catch? Caruso.
Wallace smoked the layup, everything but the bucket. Caruso with the steal and the foul. Run right now, Jay. Here's Holmgren. Caruso on the baseline for 3. Comes off to Westbrook. Caruso got it back.
It didn't look like Caruso wanted that foul called. When it was called, he was like, oh.
Selflessness and guys that are really over themselves. Off the miss. The margin is at 4. Murray into the front court.
Wallace has done a really nice job on him defensively.
Gave him a little bit of space, and Murray is lethal.
He's got to stay with him. You can't back off.
Wallace sprays it out to Caruso. Inside, went to Holmgren, got blocked from behind. What a play by Aaron Gordon. Gordon on the move, lost it out of bounds. Here he is, Jokic at the nail against Williams. Williams on Murray, and now out to Jokic. Whistle and a foul. I'm not sure who that's on.
When he's backing up like that for a big guy to get out to him, but
which are kind of his triggers. Nobody knows him better. Loving and doting, supportive dad is always on his hip. Gilgeous-Alexander at the top of the lane. Almost lost it, and that's going to be a foul against Westbrook. Knocks down his
over 14 a game.
Yeah.
That's second off the bench in the playoffs. Ty Jerome of Cleveland, just a tick more than 14 points to be the top bench scorer in the playoffs thus far.
Murray pocket pass to Jokic. Hartenstein stays with him, sitting on his right hand. Oh, it did a victory lap and then finally fell.
And he also got fouled. That should have been called.
Williams back the other way. Holmgren inside. Caruso with a nice cut through traffic, couldn't get it. Denver can take the lead.
No.
Murray, one more. Westbrook for the lead. And he missed everything. Off the tween, Gilgeous-Alexander raises up and got an auspicious bounce for the bucket. The lead is up to 3 or fewer with less than 5 minutes to go in the Thunder.
And that's a big mistake from Denver to start after that timeout.
Gilgeous-Alexander with the midi. Knocks it home. The lead is back up to 5 under 40.
He's been really good in this fourth quarter. And Denver has not made a 3 in the fourth. They're 0 for 7.
Here's Jokic, guarded by Hartenstein. Wheels to his left. Tough shot off the mark. And that's going to be a foul on the push-off from the field. Hartenstein knocks down the first free throw.
Oklahoma City's done a great job of showing bodies to Nikola Jokic. You know, they're shrinking the floor, and still they have the tenacity and really the speed to get back out to shooters if he passes it out. There's that split action.
Murray over to Brown. 10 on the shot clock. Murray gets it back. Around the Jokic screen. Caruso sticks with him. Jamal with a lay. Murray's up to 17. Margin back to 4. Good screen by Caruso on the top man of the zone. Williams, no good. Jokic with the board. Trying to walk down Hartenstein. Inside Gordon. They almost turned it over. Jokic got it back. And that's going to be a foul.
Despite the shooting woes for Denver, especially in the first half.
Think of the season after Michael Malone was dismissed as Jokic goes 0 for 2. Wow. Against that Denver zone, Williams touches paint with the layup. He lacerates the lane to make it a 6-point game.
Well, took the ball from the right to the left side, and then Williams basically caught that on the run and drove that gap with force.
Here's Murray around the Jokic screen, being hounded by Caruso off the pick and pop action. Good closeout by Williams, where he got a foul. He's got 4 points this afternoon. They fake the DHO. Jokic with the 3. Rims out to Gordon on the offensive glass. Got a whistle and a foul. His family, in particular his 2 nephews, Zane and Brody, and his sister-in-law, and really embraced them and commemorating his play this season, dedicating it to his brother, his late brother. Gilgeous-Alexander to the rim and the layup. The lead is up to 7 as we approach 2 minutes to go.
More of a man look. They really were able to take Nikola Jokic away from the rim, get him out top so that SGA could drive it.
Murray around the screen. Hartenstein switched onto him, got him caught up. Brown, the 3 ball. This one comes off to Holmgren. Under 2 minutes to go. Jalen Williams will walk it across for the Thunder, trying to even the series at 2 games apiece. The youngest team in the NBA trying to matriculate. Caruso with another opportunity back to Gilgeous-Alexander. 7 on the shot clock.
That was a huge offensive rebound by Holmgren.
Step back 3. Rebounded by Porter Jr. Gordon on the cross. Jokic with the finish off the great feed from Gordon.
Just went right into the chest of Chet Holmgren.
Jalen Williams over to Gilgeous-Alexander. Rejects the screen, goes at Jokic. Kicked out of bounds. Full court pressure on Murray, making him work. 5-point lead for the Thunder. Murray out top, around the Jokic screen. Hartenstein switches on to him. They got a mismatch. Murray inside, good catch. Porter Jr. Oh, and it comes out.
Well, he made such a great cut there and got great rise off that jumper.
44 seconds to go for Gilgeous-Alexander out top. They're looking to blitz him. He beats the double team on that Nash dribble, probes and comes out. 5 on the shot clock, got to get to work. Pivots and pulls. And Jokic with the rebound with Murray. Pulls the 3. Came up short. Minutes. And that's going to be a foul. Oh no, timeout first. What do you think it means for them to squeeze out? Should they, hang on, a win against this or playing these types of games?
I think it's another confidence builder. But for Marteau, poorly in the first half. You know, a young team that can shake you a little bit. But this young Thunder team, a lot of time the coach is in the driver's seat, has to help the player get into the driver's seat, but SGA's always been in it.
Boy, this denied defense, impenetrable. Caruso commits the foul. Gordon for 2 free throws. Aaron Gordon with 11 in the ball game, and that has been the story. Cook, Watson, and Strother, who only got 5 minutes off the bench. Pretty much
down, but also inbound the ball cleanly.
Gordon with 8.8 to go. Nuggets win the tip, down 6. Gordon trying to find the handle. Banks in a 3. It's a 1-possession game with 1.6 to go. And they get it in to Williams. Fouled quickly with 1 point from the line in the playoffs. And there it is. That should just about do it. On 2 of 13, make it 10 now, but regardless, the Thunder will even this series at 2 games apiece as they storm